Learning gives creativity, and creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. A very good morning to all. I, Princy Randhawa, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechatronics Engineering and also the coordinator of this FDP, welcome you all in this inaugural ceremony of 5 days virtual ATAL Faculty Development Program on industrial application of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which is organized by Department of Mechatronics, Mechanical and Electrical Engineering. It's our privilege to have our chief guest, Dr. Shantanu Chaudhary, the director in IIT Jaipur, with us today. We welcome you, sir. We also have with us the pillars of our organization, our Honorable President, Dr. G.K. Prabhu, Pro-President Dr. N.N. Sharma, Registrar Dr. Neetu Bhatnagar, Dean of Faculty Engineering Dr. Jagannath Karodi. I also welcome all the directors, HODs, my dear colleagues, and all the participants from various universities of the country. We are very grateful to have you all at this inaugural ceremony. If gaining knowledge opens the door of the mind, sharing it opens the window of the mind. So we all are gathered here on this digital platform with the purpose of sharing knowledge and intellect. So to begin with this faculty development program, as per our holy tradition, we worship our goddess Saraswati. So let's worship Saraswati to attain enlightenment through knowledge. So for that, I request Shambho sir to play Saraswati Vandana.
या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीम् वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
Thank you, sir. Now, let us begin this program with the curtain raising ceremony. Now, I again request Shambho sir to play this video. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite the co-coordinator of this FDP, Dr. Ravi Kumar Gupta, to highlight on the objective and the theme of this FDP program.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning and welcome to all. I thank to our Honorable Chief Guest Professor Dr. Santanu Chaudhary, Director IIT Jodhpur, our President Sir and our Dean Sir for accepting our request for addressing the gathering in this inaugural ceremony of ATAL FDP on industrial applications of machine learning and industrial and artificial intelligence. It is in online mode at Manipal University, Jaipur on 6 to 10 September 2021. I am happy to share that we have received 200 participants. As we all know that machine learning is applicable in every field nowadays. This FDP will provide the understanding of machine learning in various domains and how it can be used in industries like machine learning in robotics, electric vehicles, finance, wearable devices, cyber security, health monitoring, and also in user interface and user experience design. You will learn to develop methods for solving problems related to diverse computational fields and applications, capabilities of reasoning and justifying the use of machine learning and artificial intelligence in different applications of your interest. This FDP, we have two CEOs from Soyat Robots and Certishore as speakers, and also we have speakers from IITs, NITs, University of Malta, and Sangam University in Serbia, and also from Sardar Patel University of Police, Security and Criminal Justice. We have a speaker from industry, Dr. Das from Microsoft Research Lab, Dr. Vinay from Salman, California. In this FDP, we have planned to explain basics of machine learning and artificial intelligence. You will learn global concepts to organization level for implementation of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And you will get to know some research aspects which will be useful for implementation, even further doing for, let's say, enhancement in existing solutions. We also explain different types of simulation, analysis, and optimization in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which make feasible and competitive solutions. This FDP is of 5 days, consisting of 3 technical sessions, 1 Fit India sessions to keep you physically, mentally, and emotionally fit, and 1 session for conducting test and feedback. I welcome all of you and hope you will take something significant out of this FDP, which will enhance your skills, your domain of expertise, teaching and learning capabilities. I express my gratitude to AICTE for providing this opportunity to organize this FDP on industrial applications on machine learning and artificial intelligence at Manipal University, Jaipur, and also acknowledge the participants for choosing this domain for learning and teaching. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us about the theme of this FDP and giving induction of this program. Now, next, I would like to say to be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. So, with these words, I would like to introduce our Honorable President, Dr. G.K. Prabhu, who is the guiding force of our university. He is associated with Manipal Group from the last 2 decades. He has also served as Deputy Registrar, and Pro Vice Chancellor of Manipal Academy of Higher Education. He was also honored with many awards such as Shri Shyam Lal Saxena Memorial Award from the National Academy of Medical Sciences for his best published work in biomedical engineering in 2007, Udupi District Kannada Rajotsav Award 2017 for his contribution to the local community. Above all, he is known for his meticulous approach, commitment to the cause he stands for, and the ability to execute the best possible action plan, keeping in mind the ideal vision and mission of the organization. So, with these words, I would like to invite Sir to give the keynote address. Over to you, Sir.
So good morning. Princey, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So good morning, and it's my pleasure to be a part of the inaugural session of this AICTE-ATAL FDP on the topic industrial applications of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And so the chief guest of today's inaugural program, Dr. Shantanu Chowdhury, the director of IIT Jodhpur, our Pro-President, Professor N.N. Sharma, the Registrar, Dr. Neetu Bhatnagar, the Dean, Professor Jagannath Karodi, the other directors, and the head of the department, the faculty members, and the delegates, and the resource persons. So this is a very important year for the Manipal University, Jaipur. And as we know that we have launched this university on the invitation of the government of Rajasthan in 2011. Started with the one engineering program with a first batch of nearly 300 students. And today we are very happy in this 10 years of journey. We have more than 60 different academic programs in engineering and other disciplines, and both in undergraduate and post-graduation. And today we have nearly about 9,000 students in the campus. And during this COVID year, there's a lot of challenges the whole country, the whole globe is facing. And one of the very important challenges is faculty development program, because many of the teaching, learning, and evaluation, the total protocols, the procedures are being changed. It is very important that we must also change our gear as a faculty for a meaningful student engagement, either in the online mode or offline or in the hybrid mode. Although it is all these particular programs are advised to conduct on face-to-face mode, but however, during the COVID and some post-pandemic situation, until the travel becomes comfortable for many of us, so we need to conduct these on the virtual mode. However, the enthusiasm of the faculty, the enthusiasm of the organizing team has not been reduced. I am very happy to see that. And I must also thank the AICTE for providing these kind of an opportunity, and especially on faculty development program on a very emerging kind of a field. I am sorry that maybe because of that I missed an opportunity to hold this on the campus and invite all of you and host all of you in this one of the beautiful campuses. But however, moving forward, whenever the situation becomes comfortable, so I extend the invitation to all of you to visit our campus and also interact with the faculty and the students. As far as the industrial application on the machine learning and artificial intelligence is concerned, and these are the two very buzzword today, ML and AI. And these are the two things that it will slowly percolate into all the engineering applications. So it need not be a subject of only the computer related disciplines, but definitely its application will percolate in all the other engineering programs as well as other than engineering. I'm very happy that the organizing committee has thought about this machine learning and artificial intelligence in the various industrial applications, which makes the process very automation, whether it will be very intelligent, the system becomes a smarter and more efficient system that we keep building it. So I'm very happy these are the contemporary as well as a very emerging field that all the faculty must be aware of these and how various applications are introduced as far as these emerging fields are concerned. So I congratulate the Department of Mechatronics in consultation with the other departments to make it is a truly interdisciplinary. I am very happy and welcome again the chief guest, Professor Shantanu Chowdhury, the director, IIT Jodhpur. Sir, it is my pleasure to have you here and a special welcome. And I also extend a warm welcome to our campus whenever the travel is comfortable or whenever you are from Jodhpur to the Jaipur. So please visit us and also be our guest and to interact with the faculty and the students. So once again, I wish this ATAL FDP a very success. It is a 5 days particular program, and as Ravi Kumar Sharma mentioned, there is a lot of the topics and the resource persons from the various premier institutions are involved to engage all of us. And once again, I wish each one of you all the best and wish a success for this ATAL FDP. And thank you very much for having me here. And this is the right thing that whenever we start the new week and inaugurating an academic event will be always be a pleasure to start with. So once again, thank you very much. And over to Dr. Princey. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Sir, you're always the source of inspiration for all of us, and you always guide us how to keep us going. Thank you so much, sir. Learn more, do more, and become more. So, with these words, I would like to introduce our Dean Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Jagannath Karodi, who is the professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. He's also worked as a professor in the Department of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering at MIT Manipal. He did his PhD in tribology from Mahe. Dr. Karodi, in his 30 plus experience as teacher and researcher, has published more than 50 research papers in reputed national and international journals and conferences and has reviewed more than 20 PhD theses. Now, with this, I would like to invite our Dean, Faculty of Engineering, to please address our gathering. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Princey. Very good morning to everybody present in this inaugural ceremony. Dr. Shantanu Chowdhury, Director IIT Jodhpur, Dr. J.K. Prabhu, our President, my team MUJ, very warm welcome to you all for this FDP inauguration. It's a very modern and very niche area in which this FDP is being conducted. I'm very thankful to AICTE for providing this opportunity to our institution to conduct this FDP program. Today, we can see that all round, whichever institution or industry, machine learning and artificial intelligence are, as our president said, it is the buzzword, without which there is no survival for the industry, and the institutions are also not far behind. Most of the premier institutions have incorporated this particular topic in their curriculum. So gone are the days where this topic is only for the computer science students. Only computer science students should study this topic. But how do we take this application to the real world? It is only possible where the mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, mechatronics engineers, and other engineers work on this particular area in their application so that this application of MI and AL can be taken to the real world problems. I'm very happy that mechanical, electrical and mechatronics engineering have come up with this idea of conducting this FDP. I am very sure that nowadays we are going for student-centered learning, teaching learning aspects, outcome-based education. Gone are the days where the education is teacher-centric. And when we have studied, I remember whatever the teacher decides, he will come to the class, he will deliver the lecture, and there were great teachers, no doubt about it, there were great teachers. But at the end of the day, how much knowledge is imparted to the student, how much the students have learned, that was not measured. The outcome was not measured. Only the end semester examination, the marks, the grades with which the students were going out, and students were not industry ready, industry were not accepting them. So they have to invest a lot on these students to make them industry ready. So all these problems were there with the traditional education system. Now today, what we are following, most of the premier institutions worldwide, we are adopting the outcome-based education. So here, the students are the central part of education. Their performance is measured at various levels with outcomes. Teachers are facilitators. So what student needs is these special technologies, advanced technologies, when they go out of the portal of the institution. Unless we bring these technologies into the curriculum, however we teach them, whatever the knowledge we impart them, they will not be successful in their future career. So considering this, Manipal University, Jaipur has already started various courses, both at the undergraduate level and postgraduate level, including these particular topics. For example, we have started a BTech course with specialization in AI and machine learning. We have also started a BTech course with a specialization in IoT and intelligent systems. Another course in BTech, mechanical engineering with specialization in robotics. We have already started last year one BTech course with data science and engineering. All these courses are needed for the present scenario for the students to gain knowledge and be successful when they go out of the institution. And I am very sure this 5-day FDP, the students, the participants, the delegates, they will gain a lot because the resource persons are very renowned, both from academics and the industry. In fact, if we had conducted this, that is one of the advantages I always feel with this COVID situation is that conducting these FDPs online is that we can get easily the most of these experts. If it is conducted offline in the campus, of course, there are other advantages of conducting this in the campus, but getting these experts to the campus to deliver their expertise becomes difficult. Not all the experts may be willing to come to the travel and come here and deliver it. That is one of the advantages this COVID has given, and we have to make use of it. Not only that, everywhere digital use is increased. All faculty are using now online classes, all these digital platforms. More than that, not only the students, the teachers, the whole engineering system has geared up to combat this COVID situation so that the knowledge imparted to the students will not be inferior. I am very sure this FDP is one among in such direction, and this will be the 5 days of FDP program will be a huge success, and all the participants will get the required knowledge and they will make use of this knowledge in their future area of specialization, and because the applications are plenty, whether you take ML or you take AI. Suppose any project, any construction, any design, we can make use of these applications of MI and AL. Today we are not doing it. An independent solution for any new problem, we can make use of these technologies. I am sure all these will be taught, these areas, the application of these AI and ML will be taught in this 5-day FDP. I wish this FDP all the success and thank you for inviting me for the inaugural function. Dr. Princey, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your thought-provoking words. It was wonderful listening to you, sir. Gratitude is not only the greatest of all virtues, but the parent of all others. So with these words, now I would like to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Shantanu Chaudhary, who is the eminent academician, renowned researcher, and dynamic administrator. He is the director of IIT Jaipur, having more than 30 years of teaching experience. He did his PhD in computer science and engineering from IIT Kharagpur. Professor Chaudhary joined as a faculty member in the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Delhi, in 1992. He was Dean Undergraduate Studies at IIT Delhi. He has served as a Director of CSIR Seri Pilani during 2016 to 18. Professor Chaudhary is a recipient of the Distinguished Alumnus Award from IIT Kharagpur. Professor Chaudhary is a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineers and National Academy of Sciences. He is also a Fellow of International Association Pattern Recognition. He was awarded the Indian National Science Academy Medal for Young Scientist in 1993. He received ACCS CDEC Award for his research contribution in 2012. Professor Chaudhary has about 300 publications in peer-reviewed journals and conference proceedings, 15 patents, and 4 authored edited books to his credit. So with this, now I would like to invite Sir to address the gathering, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for inviting me to this FDP. Let me first express my gratitude to Dr. G.K. Prabhu and other dignitaries who are present here for having me for this program. And the topic that you have chosen for FDP, that is AI and ML applications in industrial problems, is very contemporary and relevant. And what is really heartening to know that this is an initiative which has been taken by the engineering departments and not just the computer science. As it has been correctly pointed out, that AI has moved into all areas of learning, all areas of technology, and all areas of human endeavor in terms of creating a better world for tomorrow. So in that context, AI for industry is extremely relevant and useful. I would like to touch upon certain issues related to the AI for industry, which are today becoming extremely critical and important, which I think must be touched upon in the FDP by the speakers. But I think that at the onset itself, I should highlight these aspects. Because in the Indian context, in many cases, we are not really always conscious about these requirements. We talk about today AI, but what we need today for industry is more than simple ML and AI, what we call a dependable AI. Because we cannot risk a system to fail. See, we know who have used ML and AI systems. There is always a finite probability of these systems to fail. Even after lots of training, even if we have 99%, 99.9% accuracy, And if the system is processing 1 lakh industrial components, then the failure in terms of numbers is definitely considerable. And this is a point which has to be kept in mind when we are talking about AI for industry. We need to know, particularly when the AI system has actually failed, and not blindly accept that AI system will always give correct results. It is not possible today, and in foreseeable future also, given the way that field has emerged, it will not happen. And this is also universally true for most of the engineering systems. So we talk about, for an engineering system, safety and reliability. Similar questions are today to be addressed in the question of AI, in the context of AI system. What we characterize as issues of dependability are safety, resilience, robustness, and security of its own and its operational environment. Okay, so what we are talking about, safety, resilience, robustness, security of the system and security of the operational environment, and reasonableness. Let's briefly touch upon these points. Why the safety is important? See, if I look into it, there can be accidents in an AI or machine learning based systems. Unintended and harmful behavior of AI applications may actually emerge from poor design of AI systems. Take for simple example, we today go to the shop and we can buy a vacuum cleaner, a robotic vacuum cleaner. Suppose a designer wants a cleaning robot to achieve some goal, like moving a box from one side of the room to the other. Sometimes the most effective way to achieve the goal involves doing something unrelated and destructive to the rest of the environment, like knocking over maybe a water container in its path. Let's look into this example, that of a robot, and you can buy a floor cleaning robot very easily from the market. And when we see that, the problem which happens is that, let's consider a scenario of a reinforcement learning. The robot is required to move a box from one point of the room to other end. And this is a kind of a robot which you even find for warehouse applications as well. So in a reinforcement learning scenario, if the robot is expected to get reward for moving the box from one point to another point using through a minimum energy consumption or minimum distance, it might actually cause an accident, maybe just a water container maybe spilled over. So this is a very simple example that I've given to understand that if I have not designed my robotic system, that means if I have not designed, in this case, the policy in our reinforcement learning system, an industrial AI system can lead to accidents. So that's why safety is very, very important, and safety can happen because of improper design of AI system. Similarly, there are resilience issues, there are robustness issues, and just I should touch upon security issue. Because today security of an AI system is very, very important. Let's say I have implemented an AI system in a hospital for interpretation of radiological images. Obviously, I have trained a model, and the model is available in the computer of that medical institution. Now, if I attempt, because the model is built on the learned weights in the neural network. Now, somehow, if I am able to inject noise in the weights when the system is in execution, I might get completely wrong diagnostic results, and which can be dangerous if we are allowing AI to take automated decision. This example I've given with reference to a medical application, but just consider this scenario with reference to a defense application or a industrial application. Now, in that context, I can actually, by injecting noise into the weight, I can create a subversion of normal processes and procedures. Is almost like a terrorist attack in an AI system. Similarly, if I look at reasonableness is another very, very important point. Why reasonableness is an important point? Reasonableness implies that AI is system or the ML system is in a position to explain its decision. So if an AI system, a machine learning system, while doing a classification, if it can tell you why an input has been classified to a category Y, then you have a confidence, more confidence in the decision. And then as a human being who is using it may also take a call whether he would go by the decision of the AI system or not. Now, when we today look at these AI systems, explainability is something which has been addressed extensively, but there are so many other issues which we need to look at and be of concern. So, for example, I touched upon resilience. You know that there are serious accidents has happened because of self-driving vehicles by Tesla and Uber, and even IBM's Watson giving erroneous medical recommendations. Systems having inherent racial or gender bias can also be dangerous. In fact, if you see today, even in the newspaper, there is a complaint and controversy about the Facebook's AI decision about in terms of classifying a black-colored human being, which actually reflection of the bias. Hence, the AI system which even Facebook has designed is not resilient against those variations of the features which may not be critical for actual task, but a supplementary feature. So an AI system should not get the decision linked with supplementary features which can actually change. It should not happen that a human being is linked with the skin color. Recognition of a face is not linked with skin color. Recognizing that the image that I am classifying is that of a human being is not linked with color. Now, color is completely an irrelevant feature, but since it was detected in the image, that actually started dictating the system, and hence the system design is essentially non-resilient. So these are some of the issues which I just wanted to highlight. In many cases today, when you talk in terms of an AI systems and AI applications in the industry, we tend to forget about significance of these problems. And these are the problems not only for application of AI for at the same time, I think these are also source of new problems for people who want to pursue research in the area of AI. I think it's a faculty development programs. There will be a large number of faculty who are looking forward to pursuing research in the area. So I would suggest that please look at these as a very important research area to pursue. The other important point that I want to touch upon is, see, we typically learn when we talk about ML, mostly we are talking about deep learning systems today. And if you look at deep learning systems, the architecture that we use, that means, for example, even in a simple convolutional neural networks, when you talk about the number of layers, number of a convolution network to be used, and also the number of convolutional masks to be used and to be trained, these are all actually kind of a heuristic decision. We really do not, please keep in mind, we pick up an architecture, and with respect to that architecture, we train and get an optimal results. But if you look at combinatorics of the architecture, if I have created an architecture with certain number of neurons and the weights, there may be many other possibilities of architecture by changing the number of neurons, number of weights, number of interconnects, number of layers. Now the architecture has a combinatorial explosive possibilities. Do you optimize your learning with reference to these hyperparameter set? But that is something which is very, very important and should be done to get an optimal performance out of the network. And today, if you have computational resource available with you, then what is called auto ML, where you actually put in a meta layer of learning. That is a meta layer of learning the architecture of the network rather than just learning the weights of the network, and combining the two things together is something very, very important to look at to get an optimal architecture for a solution of a problem. Last issue that I want to touch is something very, very important today when we say we would like to apply AI for real life applications in industry. The resource constraints. That means when the AI run, it has to run with a limited memory resource, limited time resource, and limited energy resource. So this gives rise to an area called resource constrained AI. Now, actually, how do you transform the networks? A very simple example is today, you can run a deep learning model on your mobile phone. But that requires a very, very careful manipulation of the weights, retraining of the architecture, and making sure that it runs with minimum consumptions of energy and time. And in many cases, you do not go for, say, floating point calculations, but integer calculations to reduce time as well as energy. So how to do those transformations? Those are they are all absolutely non-trivial, because I shall do these changes and make sure that my performance remains unchanged. Last point is that all machine learning systems are based on basic assumption that the distribution of the data with respect to which we are designing or learning is a stationary distribution. That means I have sampled my training data from a distribution which doesn't change even when I'm using testing inputs. This assumption is not necessarily true, and in particular in industrial applications, when you think in terms of using IoT and sensors, the sensors have a very natural drift with temperatures, with humidities and others. So the drift is in terms of the calibration of the sensors. And because of the drift, your distribution is no longer static, no longer stationary. So the distribution becomes non-stationary. When the distribution becomes non-stationary, none of these machine learning algorithms work. And there are a class of techniques which have come in which deals with non-stationary scenarios. I think that is something, again, you need to look at if you talk in terms of using AI for industrial applications. I have tried to touch upon some of the key issues of AI for industrial applications, AI and ML for industrial applications, which are not really receiving huge attention today in many of these kind of training programs which are happening across the country. So I thought it is important, and I think you are also addressing some of these issues, but I tried to just highlight to the participants, these are some of the issues which are very, very critical for taking AI to real industrial world. And this also provides you a huge opportunity and plethora of research problems in which you can work. So all the best for this FDP and all the best for all the participants. We would love to have them as a front-ranking researchers in the area of AI and AI applications in the country. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing beautiful thoughts with us, and also you have enlightened us by giving so many examples on ML and AI. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for sparing your time also and accepting our invitation for this inaugural ceremony of FDP. Now, I would like to request Mr. Manipal Bhukia, sir, co-coordinator of this FDP, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to all. It gives an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries assembled here. My sincere thanks to Professor Anil D. Sasrabudde, Chairman, AICTE, and Professor MP Punia, Vice Chairman, AICTE, Professor Rajiv Kumar, Member Secretary, AICTE, and entire team of the AICTE for the constant help and encouragement to organize ATAL FDPs. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Shantanu Chaudhary, Director, IIT Jodhpur, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace the event. Thank you, sir, for inspiring and encouraging us with your words on this FDP. Special thanks to Professor G.K. Prabhu, sir, Vice Chancellor, MUJ, Professor N.N. Sharma, Co-President, Dr. Deetu Bhattakar, Registrar, Professor Jagannath Karodi, Dean, sir, for providing immense support to apply and organize this type of event in the university. I also thanks to Professor S.C. Sivaprasad, Director, SHAM, Professor Jamil Akhtar, Director, ACEC, and all the three department HODs, Dr. Shehbaz Ahmad Siddiqui, Mechatronics, and Professor Ashish Srivastava, Electrical, and Professor Rahul Goyal, Mechanical, for their guidance and encouragement in all our efforts. I thank all the distinguished resource persons accepting our invitation to this FDP. I thank you all the participants and most welcome to this FDP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request all the participants and the dignitaries to please turn on the camera so we can have one photo. Thank you, sir. Now we have come to the end of this inaugural session. Before ending, I just want to share one quote which is apt for this FTP program. To know that what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know. That is true knowledge. So once again, I take the opportunity to thank all the dignitaries, participants who joined for this program. Now it's request to all participants to join us at 10:30 for the first session. The link is already given to all the participants. Thank you all.